Ciao lovelies, it's Lunaria here. I'm so excited about this. I needed to ramble, and so I was like, yo, I'm gonna share this with y'all because this is actually one of my special interests. Surprise! I really like dinosaurs, which I feel like is kind of obvious, but I also really like Jurassic World, Camp Cretaceous. Okay, so this video is going to be absolutely filled with spoilers. So I'm warning you guys in advance, if you don't want spoilers for the ending of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous or the rest of the show, please just don't watch this yet. Go watch the show. It is totally worth watching. It is super, super good. I highly recommend watching it before you watch this video because I'm gonna spoil so many things because I'm excited. Alright, I'm gonna give y'all another 10 seconds to click away. I'm watching it on my little counter thing here. It's just 10 seconds. Because once this hits 1 minute, I'm going for it. Alright, here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, the ending of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous gave me everything I wanted and more. So, I have been following this since it started. Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, actually, the first season came out, or at least I became aware of it, at a very, very interesting part of my life when I was going through some really, really messed up stuff for trauma-related things. I had just left a very, bad situation, and I was, very emotionally wounded, and, I was putting myself into special interests to try to make myself feel a lot better, at least to distract me from the existential dread that is life, right? I was 22, I think, around that time. Only 2 years ago. Not very long. I was 22 around that time, and I started watching the show. First of all, I'm an age regressor, so, I already like it because I like kids shows, but, even if I wasn't, this show's so good. Even if I wasn't into that sort of stuff, I'd still watch it. My sister-in-law watches that with my niece, and she's like, this is good. I'm like, I know, this is a good show. So essentially the premise is that there is a summer camp for teens on the island of Isla Nublar, which is the Jurassic World island from the first movie, and, well, from the first Jurassic World movie, not Jurassic, well, technically, yes, Jurassic Park as well. There's a lot about that. I'm super into that stuff. If you guys want to hear more special interest rambling, I will. But anyway, long story short, these kids are in a summer camp for teens on the island of Isla Nublar when the events of Jurassic World occur. So they're there when the Indominus escapes, they are there through the aftermath, and they are there through the destruction and chaos that occurs. And the first season is us following the kids as they struggle to survive and get to the boat to get off the island in time to be saved. Spoilers, they don't. It's actually really fucking heart-wrenching. Sorry for swears, but it was really upsetting. I was like, oh my god, really? There's a lot of really heart-wrenching moments in that first season. There's a lot in all of the seasons, to be fair. But as the series progresses, I think there are 5 seasons. As the seasons progress, we get to watch the kids as they try to adapt and survive on the island and try to make peace with the fact that to them, every adult that has ever been around them has failed them. And it's very upsetting for them because essentially the system fails them. The administrators of the park fail them. The adults they interact with that they think are going to save them fail them. And it's the same idea as the original Jurassic Park, where it's you can try to control something all you want, but at the end of the day, you can't harness the power of creation, and your hubris will be your downfall, that kind of idea. And it really does do a great job with this, which I thought was wild. It was so good. But anyway, throughout the progress of the seasons, we are introduced to these characters. You bond with them. You will care about these characters like they are your kids. I was like, these are my kids. I love them. I have a bunch of them. It's no big deal. But there's this very adorable dynamic that is established where since the very beginning they start planting the seeds for a relationship, and I thought they were gonna screw us over because it's a lesbian relationship, and I was scared because I was like, they're going to not give us this, or they're gonna pull a bury your gaze, in which case I was gonna be pissed because I was gonna be like, no, you know? No, actually way better than that. They straight up said, you want them? Fine. They got an on-screen kiss, a canon relationship, meaning they announced it as like a official relationship. By the end of the series, they introduced each other to their parents and are still together years later. Like, oh, kill me. That was so good. So that like sent me. I was like, as soon as they like canonized that and made it to where I knew that we weren't gonna get screwed over by that, I was in head over heels, because I was like, the rest of the show is fantastic, but if they pull a bury your gaze, I will have to, by my moral standards, hate this. But I didn't have to, because they didn't, and I was so excited, I was so happy, and the character development that we get to see, and the way that the characters grow is so good. Like Kenji's dad, like Kenji's this like stereotypical rich boy. His dad is very wealthy. He was working with Masrani in Jurassic World, and then he switches to working with the shady Manticore. And when this is discovered, it actually, unfortunately, his dad manipulates him and turns him against his friends for a bit, which made me very angry. But eventually he realizes that found family means more to him than his dad, but considering that his dad neglected him throughout most of his childhood because he was too busy, quote unquote. So it's actually this really, like, you get to see all these characters face so much, like, there's believable, like, PTSD, like, you see Yaz have flashbacks, you see the characters discuss openly having nightmares and having issues after everything is over. Like, there is no, okay, it's all done, like, we're all happy now. There is still the realistic aspect of these kids saw terrible stuff. They still do have PTSD. They still do have difficulty, but they're still living. They're still doing their lives. They're still doing what they want to do. And it's just such a nice thing to see, because as somebody who does have PTSD and doesn't see a lot of very good representation for it, especially not in kids media, I mean, that was like, I was shook. I was like, oh my god. That and the respect and the actual care they put into Yaz and Sammy's relationship, because when Yaz realizes she has feelings for Sammy, it's not like an instantaneous brush it off, like a, okay, well, whatever. No, she struggles with it because she doesn't know. She struggles with it because she didn't know that she was bi, and so she talks to one of the other characters, Ben, and she very openly discusses the fact that she knows what it's like to have a crush on a guy, but she's feeling very confused about her feelings with Sammy, and that she doesn't want to ruin this friendship, and all these other things. It's very realistic. Like, as we're going through that process of her working out her feelings, it feels real. It feels like something that I would have gone through when I was a kid, that I did go through when I was a kid, where I had friends that were female that I, was like, oh, I really like this person. And I mean, I went through the same phases as, that whole thought process of like, I'm confused, I think this might be the same thing, but I don't know, I'm scared to ruin a friendship, I'm not sure if this is, like, it was all the same kind of things that I remembered struggling with myself, and that's what really shocked me, was like, it was just really good representation. Not only that, but the fact that it was really good representation, it really did feel very well done. Like, I feel like whoever did that really did have experience with it. And I don't know, the whole thing was wonderful. I loved it a great amount. I cried so much at the end. Also, I really, really, really love the fact that there is the heavy implication that Kenji was adopted by Darius's family and is now one of Darius's older brothers. I love this implication for a lot of reasons, but the biggest reason why I love this implication is because Kenji gets a loving family. I think throughout the series, it's kind of established that he's lonely, he doesn't have anybody, and despite being wealthy, his dad doesn't take care of him, doesn't love him, doesn't spend time with him. And then when we finally do get to see his dad, all he does is manipulate him and use him for financial gain, and it's terrible. So the fact that at the end he gets an actually loving family, not only an actually loving family, but an actually loving family that happens to also be people of color is really cool. It's a family of color. Like, Darius's family is a black family. Kenji is, I believe he's supposed to be some, like, I don't know. I know Kenji's supposed to be POC, but I don't really know, like, what they were implying. So, but the thing is, the fact that, like, I don't know, I really feel like media doesn't show us a lot of, like, I feel like media neglects to show us a lot of situations in which a loving black family adopts somebody who is like white passing or something. I feel like we don't get to see that a lot, and it really made me happy because you got to see how much love Kenji got and how happy he was, and like, dude, that made me so happy. I was like, he deserves it. He deserves to be happy. And like the fact that the two characters who I was worried would like trauma bond and be like inseparable, which was Kenji and Brooklyn, Brooklyn actually like evolves to the point where she no longer wants to be a YouTuber. She turns into a journalist because she learns that she wants to be behind the camera. She learns that she wants to be the one who shares the stories, not the one who's in them. And it's such a beautiful and wonderful evolution of her. And oh my god, it just sent me. Like, I can't sing its praises enough. This series was absolutely amazing from start to finish, was wonderful. Every moment of it was wonderful, even the parts where they made me super tense. I mean, some of those seasons leave off on cliffhangers, you guys. I was scared. But, like, it's just beautiful. It is beautiful. It is amazing. I highly recommend it if you haven't watched it. It is something that I hope will change the face of children's media and change the face of representation going forward, because it was really lovely. Like, really, really lovely. So all of that being said, let me know your thoughts. What did you think if you watched Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous? Did you have some of the same, like, oh my god moments that I did? Were you caught off guard by anything the show did? Or was it something that you were excited to see? Or did you think they could have done better? Let me know in the comments. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more content that is just age-friendly, special interest, autistic people friendly, because that's what we do here. Hi, I'm autistic. Hello. So yeah, no, I'm just let me know your thoughts. I'd really love to hear from you guys. I'd really love to know your thoughts. So leave them in those comments down below. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more chaos. Really is what it is. It's the lifestyle of a chaotic person. And yeah, and all of that being said, stay awesome and remember to love yourself, and I will see you in my next video, my next post, or whatever comes next. And like I said, and I mean it, stay awesome and remember to love yourself. I mean it. I mean it. I don't care what you gotta do to make yourself look at yourself and be like, I'm cool, but do it. Whether you need to look in the mirror for like 30 minutes and be like, I like this, this, and this, or whether you just kind of take a second and you step back and you're like, I have these cool features in my personality, let me write it down. You gotta make sure that you know yourself and love yourself for who you are and what you do. So, thank you lovely so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Please stay awesome, remember to love yourself, and yeah, bye lovelies!